Hi everybody, welcome to Jake Showcase. I do videos on Wednesdays. This is going to be the second last video I do on drinking and drugs. And today what I'm going to do is define to you what a detox is. I'm going to tell you what it is, what it's like when you go to one, what to expect, and my personal experiences in detoxes. Now, a detox is basically a place where people go to get detoxified of either using substances or alcohol. It's usually for people who have been like on long sort of benders, or people who have been drinking for a long period of time. Oftentimes they have a real hard time sobering up in their current environment, either because of access or familiarity or maybe relationships that they're in, and they need a place to go to sort of clear their head. Usually detoxes can last anywhere from about a day to up to a week, but most commonly it's about 5 days. And generally speaking, the goal of a lot of detoxes is to get people cleaned up and hopefully into a rehabilitation program, either that they pay for through an insurance program, pay for themselves, or something that's available to them, for the general public. Now, detoxes are pretty much the lowest of the low. It's only for the real hardcore people that go to detoxes, because they're beyond the point of being able to sort of sober themselves up at home, or so they suspect, and because of that they need to go. Usually you sleep with about 4 people in the first room, and then as you get 2 or 3 days out, you usually go into a different room with 2 guys. There's usually about 20 to 30 people in a detox at a time, and they're almost always manned by nursing stations, because a lot of times people have to take medicines, and the nurses basically watch through like a glass window to see how people are reacting, if they're having any sort of really bad reactions in a detox, and they make sure that they get their medicine dispensed to them on time. Now, detoxes, unlike rehabs, are very short-term stays. A lot of times they're linked to places like the Salvation Army, or some cities have dedicated detoxes, and occasionally rehabilitation centers offer detox on site. Again, it's very different. You're just trying to get your body and the drugs and alcohol out of your system. It's a very hard time for the person, because they're going through a lot of these withdrawal symptoms. Withdrawal symptoms have so many different varieties, from physical, mental, emotional, and they can take extended periods of time to short periods of time, but this is for the most acute of places, is this detox. So when you go to a detox, usually you have to phone in, or you have to at least go there and tell them that you need to go into the detox. They do an initial assessment on you, and pretty much anybody can get into a detox, because they're there because they're very sick or ill from overdose of their drug or alcohol. The nurses basically take you in, they take your stuff, and you go and sleep in a room with 4 different people. Now, that usually can last anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, where you're in this initial sort of recuperating room, and people in there are extremely sick, including yourself, where you can't eat. You're lucky if you can have a little bit of juice or anything like that. And people are making like terrible noises because they're having different withdrawal symptoms. Myself, I had a problem with alcohol, so I was having alcohol withdrawal symptoms. But other people who are on different drugs, they would be having other things, and you hear screams and yells, and it really is a house of horrors going into a detox, especially initially. Even after 2 or 3 days, you still have access to hearing this place. It's almost kind of like it's just a terrible spot. Occasionally you have to have people who have like reactions where you have security has to come, because people can get violent as one of the reactions. So oftentimes there's security on premise. And one of the worst I saw is that somebody was throwing up so bad, and they ended up going into convulsions. A woman, she was throwing up so terribly, she ended up having the hospital guys had to come in and cart her off. Basically, the goal of a detox, besides getting you sort of cleaned up of those first couple of days, is to sort of introduce you to the alcoholics Anonymous or the Narcotics Anonymous program, where usually on the third, fourth, and fifth day they try to sort of have a couple meetings right there in the detox, and usually on the last day or two they will actually have you go out of the detox to go to a meeting in the general public, usually at the bottom of a church or something like that, as a group. You have to be, there's no like leaving, there's no passes or anything like that without being in a group for the period of time that you're in a detox. It's very, very tightly controlled, because basically they want to make sure that you don't go out and start using again and then come back into the detox, because you have to basically be on track to getting cleaned up. So usually the worst, a lot of times the worst drunks in the city, people who would go underneath bridges, or people who you see on the street corners who are drunk, a lot of times they'll use that as sort of a way to sort of sober up for a few days, and they do feed you, after a couple days, and a lot of times people go right back out and start using again. So detox there's a certain function for it. I guess just to give you an idea of how bad of a drunk I was, I actually got so bad, and I'm the only person I've actually ever heard of this happening to, that I was banned and barred from going to the detox. And the reason I guess I was too bad, of my withdrawal symptoms were very, very, very bad. And I'm the only person in all the different rehabs, I've been to about 9 rehabs, I've ever heard telling that story, where you get banned from a rehab, or sorry, from a detox, because of the symptoms that I had. One of the guys I knew, he slept out in the road. He had been there over 156 times. So we're talking about your everyday drunks, and it's pretty. You have to be really, really bad in order to go into a detox. And for me not to be allowed to go into a detox, really is sort of a testament to how much how bad of a drunk I was. Luckily though, for anybody who's in a detox now or thinking about going into a detox, I've been sober now for well over 4 years, and there is hope at the end of the tunnel. There is a way for you to make a better life for yourself and get yourself sober and clean, away from your drugs and your alcohol, and change your lifestyle. So while if you've been in a detox or are thinking about going to a detox, or just want to know more about detoxes, they are terrible, they are bad, but there is hope. And just because you go into a detox doesn't mean it's the end of the road. It's nice that they do exist. Alright, so I hope that you're okay out there, and I hope that if you're having a hard time staying away from drugs or alcohol, that you get encouraged, because you can do it. You can get yourself sober, and I feel like I'm a living testament to that. Alright, hope you enjoyed that video. Please don't forget to like my video below and subscribe to my channel up above. I do my videos on Wednesdays, and I hope you have a wonderful day.